Hello, historians. I am Rob McCormick from Kentucky, and I would like to share with you my dissertation project. The United States Colored Troops from Kentucky during the War between the States, 1861-1865, and the resulting social, cultural, political, and economic changes that occurred during the antebellum era and the time immediately following the war. I will contend that the Kentucky USCT played an indispensable role in the war and helped the federal government. My thesis statement: the United States colored troops were more than soldiers. During the war between the states, they led the largest slave revolt in American history, and in so doing, they opened the door and paved the way for the colored people to walk the path toward self-emancipation and the civil rights movement that would occur 100 years later during the 1950s and the 1960s, which completely changed the American society. The questions that I would like to answer: why did the huge economic and white population of the northern states not suffice to push down the rebellion of the Confederate States of America more quickly without arming the Negro recruits from Kentucky in 1864? Why did the Federal Army wait 3 years to arm the Negro troops from Kentucky? Why did Negroes continue to enlist in the Federal Army even after reports came from the battlefield of the horrific conditions and the horrific treatment toward the colored troops? They continued to enlist. How many troops from Kentucky actually enlisted into the Federal Army? There seems to be some disagreement as to the final numbers. How many United States colored troops from Kentucky died in the war? Again, there seems to be disagreement in the numbers. The best source that I have found is a compendium of the War of the Rebellion by Frederick H. Dwyer, who asserts that Kentucky alone put in 23,703 colored troops. And of that number, 10,774 died from battlefield wounds and associated diseases. So my topic again concerns the United States colored troops from Kentucky who facilitated social, economic, political, and cultural changes, because I will argue that the white slaveholders espoused the notion that slavery was to be a permanent institution. It took the war between the states. It took the United States colored troops' involvement, especially those from Kentucky, to throw down that institution. Moreover, I argue that without the war and the United States colored troops, there is no 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution or Reconstruction amendments that deal with citizenship, equality, and suffrage. And those Reconstruction amendments underpin the civil rights movement of the 1950s and the 1960s. My sources are vast and a large array of primary source documents and secondary sources. My primary sources are the federal census records, especially the slave schedules. The United States Union Soldiers Database compiled service records of 1861 through 1865. The United States Descriptive List of Colored Volunteer Army Soldiers from 1864. Fold 3 Military Records, Archives, and Muster-in rolls. Last Wills and Testaments of Local Slaveholders. And secondary sources include scholarly books and articles. And how do these sources support my thesis? The primary sources provide immediate access to military records, including stories, photos, and documents of the men who served. The last wills and testaments of local slaveholders provide tremendous insight into the slaveholders' true sentiments toward their slaves, often led to manumission, which also led to enlistment into the Federal Army. Thank you so much for watching my video and listening to my idea for this thesis project. I look forward to your feedback and your constructive criticism and your questions. Thank you.